In the quiet town of Ravenswood, nestled between thick woods and shadowy hills, there stood an ancient mansion with a history shrouded in mystery. The mansion was known as Blackthorn Manor, and it was said to be haunted by the ghosts of its long-gone inhabitants. However, there was one item in the mansion that carried a particularly ominous reputation: the cursed mirror. The mirror, an ornate antique with a gilded frame and elaborate engravings, hung in the grand foyer of Blackthorn Manor. It was said to have been brought to the mansion by its original owner, Lord Sebastian Blackthorn, who had acquired it during his travels in distant lands. Legends whispered that the mirror had a dark power, one that could trap the souls of those who gazed into its depths. The story begins on a stormy night when a young couple, Emma and James, decided to spend the weekend at Blackthorn Manor. They had heard tales of the haunted mansion and its eerie mirror but dismissed them as mere superstitions. Intrigued by the thrill of the unknown, they arrived at the mansion with excitement tinged with a hint of trepidation. The heavy wooden door creaked open, and the couple stepped into the dimly lit foyer. A cold draught swept through the grand entrance, sending shivers down their spines. The ancient floorboards groaned beneath their weight as they explored the mansion, marvelling at the antique furniture and faded portraits lining the walls. As they reached the grand foyer, their eyes were drawn to the hauntingly beautiful mirror that hung prominently on the wall. Its surface seemed to ripple with an otherworldly energy, and the couple couldn't resist the temptation to gaze into its depths. Emma, a spirited young woman with a passion for adventure, was the first to approach the mirror. Her reflection stared back at her, but something seemed off. The air around her grew colder, and her breath misted in front of her. She felt an inexplicable sense of dread, as if unseen eyes were watching her every move. James, a pragmatic man with a skepticism towards the supernatural, chuckled at Emma's unease. He joined her before the mirror, dismissing the eerie atmosphere as a mere product of the mansion's age. However, as he looked into the mirror, a fleeting shadow passed over his face. It was a darkness that lingered in his eyes, almost imperceptible but undeniably present. Unbeknownst to the couple, the mirror had trapped a piece of their souls within its mysterious depths. The mansion, sensing new life and energy, awakened from its slumber, and the echoes of the past whispered through the corridors. As night fell, the couple retired to their room, unaware of the malevolent force that had been unleashed. Strange occurrences began to unfold. The sound of footsteps in empty hallways, distant whispers that seemed to echo through the walls, and fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures in the corners of their eyes. The mirror, now a conduit between the living and the dead, became a gateway for the spirits trapped within the mansion. They longed for release, and the unwitting couple became unwitting conduits for their haunting presence. Emma and James, initially dismissive of the supernatural, found themselves drawn back to the mirror. Each time they gazed into its depths, their reflections appeared more distorted, their eyes carrying a haunted look that mirrored the souls trapped within the cursed glass. The line between reality and the supernatural began to blur. Objects moved on their own, disembodied whispers filled the air, and the temperature fluctuated wildly. The couple, once skeptical, now faced the chilling reality that something beyond their understanding had taken hold of Blackthorn Manor. In a desperate attempt to escape the growing malevolence, Emma and James sought the help of a local paranormal investigator, Professor Samuel Harrow. Harrow, a seasoned expert in the occult, was intrigued by the tales surrounding Blackthorn Manor and agreed to investigate the paranormal disturbances. Upon arriving at the mansion, Harrow sensed a potent energy permeating the air. He could feel the presence of restless spirits, their anguish echoing through the walls. As he approached the cursed mirror, the atmosphere grew more oppressive, and he sensed an ancient malevolence that went beyond anything he had encountered before. Determined to unravel the mysteries of the mirror, Harrow conducted a séance in the grand foyer. The air crackled with energy as he called upon the spirits trapped within the mansion. Whispers turned to anguished cries, and shadows danced across the walls. The mirror seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy, revealing glimpses of the spirits' tormented faces. As the séance reached its climax, a powerful force surged through the room. The mirror, a portal between the living and the dead, unleashed a torrent of spectral energy. The trapped souls, freed from their ethereal prison, surged forth, enveloping the room in an otherworldly light. Emma and James, now fully aware of the supernatural forces at play, witnessed the spectral figures of Blackthorn Manor finding peace at last. The couple, their own souls no longer bound by the mirror's curse, felt a profound sense of liberation. As the last echoes of the supernatural disturbance faded, Harrow studied the mirror, its once ominous presence now diminished. The cursed glass seemed to lose its malevolence, returning to a mere antique with an ornate frame. With the dawn of a new day, Emma and James left Blackthorn Manor, forever changed by the harrowing experience. The mansion, once a haven for trapped spirits, stood silent, its haunted history echoing through the halls. The cursed mirror, now devoid of its spectral occupants, hung in the grand foyer, a silent witness to the mysteries that unfolded within the walls of Blackthorn Manor.